Let's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into an artist. Today's artist is The Head and the Heart, and in some ways, I think I have the head and the heart on the line. Jill, I believe the way it was presented to me was through Randy, but I think this was your idea. I think this was a band you wanted to do. Am I correct?
Yeah, totally was.
So talk to me about The Head and the Heart. What is it that you love about them, and why was this your entry point? Why was this a band that we had to talk about today?
I just think they're kind of rad. Like, I kind of like all different kinds of music, and I got introduced to them. I was thinking about this, like, where did I first hear them? And I think they were on some...
Before we met.
Oh, way before we met, yeah. I think they were on, like, show, like, they had they were on some soundtrack or something. And I was like, ooh, this is a good song. So, I had to add it to my Spotify like I used to do. And then I just kind of, always followed them. I never saw them live until 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they were always sort of a band that I always went back to. And they've released a handful of albums. So it was nice to sort of see what they were up to. And they remained consistent. That's a really nice thing for me. We were talking tonight about bands that change their sound so much over their tenure. And I feel like The Head and the Heart, while they're not boring, and they have, they've experimented, but they've remained consistent, and I really appreciate that.
Consistent, yes, absolutely. That was something I noticed going through this. Now, Randy, what is it about The Head and the Heart that made you jump aboard?
Well, I definitely have become a fan over these handful of years, and I think it was definitely after seeing them live in 2019, and we're coming off of seeing them about 3 days ago, and they were terrific once again. Saw them at the Sound on Sound Festival, and really the first time that I had heard of them was probably in like 2013, and they were they had probably like 2 albums out then, and they were just up and coming with like all the they played every big festival, and that's all that people talked about. They were talking about their live show, and that's how, we say it all the time on other podcasts and just in other conversations, that if in order to be a known band right now, you have to play live. Because that's how everybody's going to figure you out. Because you can't just go you're not listening to the radio, you're not listening to MTV, watching MTV, you're not going to the CD store to go pick something up. Most of what you see at like a record store are people have kind of an agenda, like, okay, I'm here to buy this, here to look for this. And you just have to see them live. You have, as much as the festival idea sucks, and it's not fun. I went to 2 different festivals in the matter of almost a week, and I pretty much don't like festivals. Mm-hmm. But that's how you learn about these bands, because they're just not, outside of like 1 or 2 songs that maybe you hear on commercials or etc. kind of deal. You're not ever going to figure them out unless you see them live, and that's where I really got to know them from the live show that we saw right after our wedding, and I thought that they were terrific. So, kind of stuck since then.
So, yeah, I guess to your point, like, I feel like we don't listen to a lot of radio anymore. I mean, I don't know anybody who actually does. I think my wife listens like to and from work, maybe.
It's not like AM, FM, like Sirius XM sometimes.
Yeah. But, not a lot of radio. But I believe at one point, her and I were driving somewhere around town, and she had one of the local stations on, and The Head and the Heart came on. It was enough for me to, like, notice the name and go, okay, what's this? But, like, other than that, until you had brought it up, that was it. Like a peripheral, I saw the name scroll across our radio, and that was it. So going to this again, completely blind as I do, trying to, Jill already said it, like, consistency is the name of this band. Very consistent. The chances they take, it reminds me a lot of like, what was it, the Decemberists we did last year, like, where
another band I really like. Yeah.
They take some chances, but it all lives very well in the band. So that always makes this next part a little harder. And this being your first time here, Jill, that makes me wonder, how did you go about picking your 20 for this? Did you kind of have any game plan going in, or did you just kind of take what you like?
Please share.
It was hard for me because I love this band so much. So my knee-jerk reaction was like, oh, I just want to like write down my favorite 20 songs and be like, yeah, this is of course what I would want to introduce somebody to because they're my favorite 20.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that's not how the game is played. So I, extended myself a little bit, and a lot of them are my favorite songs.
Oh.
But, it really gave me an opportunity to sort of force myself to listen to the albums that maybe I wasn't as familiar with, and see if that's still accurate for me or not. And I think it made me appreciate them a lot more. I would say before we saw them, I wasn't listening to them like every day or all day or anything. So it really gave me a nice reason to sort of get back to them and really think about them as a band more and think about who they are and what their sound is. It made me appreciate them a lot more.
So you've got a little home field advantage here, Randy. Like
I do, and that's actually exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Okay,
here.
Yeah, bring it on, man. Like, I mean, sometimes that plays into it. So clearly that had an effect.
Yeah, it definitely did, because when I was going through these, I kind of joked, like, right as we started, I'm like, I only know 3 songs. She's like, I think you know some more. And she's right. Like, we listened to them a lot around the house and on car rides. And while hearing these songs, I'm not necessarily listening sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, but they are getting lodged into, I guess, the back program memory of my mind. So when I gave them a listen, a lot of them, more than 10, or maybe even more than 20, I was like, oh, yeah, that's that. And then because I had that familiarity with them, that made me like it even more. And that, led to kind of some of my automatic picks in this too.
So I have none of that going into this, but I hate to keep repeating, but since Jill nailed it in that first little bit, like, this band's consistent. I did have a lot harder time cutting than I expected. I think I kept it tidy on my first pass, something like 35, 37, or I think it was actually 33. And I thought, okay, this won't be too bad. That's not too bad. And then as I'm listening back through those 33 that made it through, I was like, oh, this is the problem. So I'll tell you guys this right up front. Self-titled, really, really hard to cut from.
Yeah.
And surprisingly for me, usually it doesn't work like this. Signs of Light, like their third record, really, really hit me. I think I had most of the album after my first pass. Yeah, and I think I've got a lot of that left. So like I just found. So basically, what I went when I'm making those last cuts, I'm just like, well, what can't I live without? Like what is really calling to me with this band? And I usually don't do this. Randy will tell you. I usually, try to even it out. I went with my head and my heart this time. Hey, I had no idea I was going to do that, but that's what I did. So, based on the conversation we just had, Jill. Now this could get rowdy here. What's our song list like? 63 songs, I think.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
It's only 3 of us, so you never know. How many do you think the 3 of us will get unanimously?
I've been thinking about this a lot.
Ooh.
Because I have literally no idea. And now I'm even less sure after you just said what you just said. I'm going to go with, and I also have no idea what you guys usually do, like how aligned you normally are. I'm going to say 7.
Ooh, okay.
I know it's high, but I think that there are some obvious choices. So
okay,
the cream always rises to the top, so you never know. Sometimes it just plays out that way. Yeah. What do you think, Randy?
Well, we have been surprised on recent episodes where we
Mhm.
got to 9 with Men at Work, and with a 5-person panel, we got to 5 with Eddie Vedder, or maybe it was 6. I can't remember. It was pretty high though. And for this, like, I'm a little, after what you said, I'm a little like, okay, maybe one or two things I'm like, all right, on the same page, and then maybe another one I'm like, okay, not as close to the same page. And then Jillian told me her album distribution, not which album, how many songs from which album, but she had a couple that were pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much kind of spread it out as much as possible, because what happened at the end was I would look at the list and I would look at what I had left, and it was really hard to make 1 or 2 or 3 cuts. So I said, all right, what album is lacking? This song is just as good as this song. I'm going to put that in to, help the new record or something like that. So I am going to say 5.
5 seems like the safe bet. So now, do I split y'all's difference? Do I play the dick and go one lower? I feel like 7 is super optimistic. I like it, but I definitely can't see it going any higher than that. So to me, the play is 4 or 6. I'll go with 4. I don't like it, but I'll go with 4. All right, so we're going to take a quick pause, and when we come back, it'll be more to program. Stay tuned. Kickstart your road to fitness with the Hard Work Works fitness app. For all ability levels, full gym, no problem. What's included? Over 200 workout plans available for every situation, from a full gym to no equipment at all. Nutrition guide to help you stay on track, and all of this is only $10 a month. There's a special offer for Deprogram listeners. Use promo code STUPID and get your first month free. The Hard Work Works fitness app. Decide, commit, succeed, and join the hustle today. And with that, the name of the game is Deprogram. The 3 of us have combed through the Head and the Heart discography and have plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for you, in case you have never given the Head and the Heart a chance. Oh boy. Okay, I'm just going to start at the top of my list. This isn't necessarily in album order, but this is one that kind of really stuck out to me. I'm going to go with Honeybee.
Oh, that one they just played a couple days ago, and I was a little worried about that because you got really excited to hear it, and I thought in my back of my head, I really am not taking this, and I didn't take it.
I'm personally offended that you didn't take it.
There's a lot of this that's happening.
Words later after this. Yeah, I obviously did. I love Honeybee so much. It's a beautiful song.
But what'd you say about it yesterday? That you said that it was much better live than on record.
Yeah, 100%.
So
100, and that was like totally affirmed when we saw that on Sunday. It's beautiful live. It's adorable. It's just such a sweet song. I'm happy.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, so it's got a 2. It's alive. It's well alive on a 3-person panel. So, all right, Jill.
I'm gonna go Down in the Valley.
I don't have that one.
I do. That's actually my number 2.
Food Mary again.
I know. This is gonna cause some problems. It's a great song. I'm offended that you don't have this one too.
Still alive.
I mean, there were only 20 to take.
All right, Randy.
I'm gonna try to get one that I know you have. See You Through My Eyes.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right,
There
we
we
got
go.
something.
There we go. If my phone decides it wants to work this time. Okay. There we go. Oh, screw you.
Every single episode.
Every single time. Here, let's... I do like in these later records here where they have, like, you can hear the changing of contemporary music, I guess, throughout their career, and they usually do, like, you know, we'll talk about the later record, like the most recent record later, I'm sure, but like this is a nice combination of that line where, like, I'm starting to really get out on contemporary music, but they've managed to weave it into what they do. I like it. Clearly. All right. Back to me. I'm going to stay up towards the top of my list, but how about Ghosts?
Yes, I have that.
Yes.
Hey,
All right.
There we go. There we go.
That was actually a late addition only because I didn't realize that I didn't have it. So it was technically in my bottom 3, but it doesn't count as like a bottom 3 type song.
Yeah.
I think that is just such a cool song.
Oh, yeah.
It's again, they're consistent, but I think it's more one of their more unique ones. It's also a theme to a show that I don't even know if it's still on.
Oh.
It was on like it was a CBS show or something. So I would hear it all the time on like Hulu or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, this is such a cool song. It was about ghosts.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I like the bouncy piano intro. And I mean, it's obviously it stays there the whole time, but like
kind of ragtimey in a way.
Yeah. Very cool, very different amidst that first record. They're really, like, that first record, they're really setting out to do a lot of different things that somehow managed to tie together. All right.
Yeah, what's crazy, that record is so good, but they still got better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Jill?
No surprise of Randy's, I'm sure. I have to pick Lost in My Mind.
Of course.
I did too. And I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. I actually initially did not have it. This was a late addition. As I was listening, but as I like to do, actually, I was doing it while you guys came in. I like to listen to the playlist. And this song made me feel so bad for not picking it. And then also, I always ask, the listeners, hey, which songs? And as I was listening to this song, Emily, John's wife, commented her picks, and this was one of her 4 picks. I was like, okay, that solidifies it. I was already thinking about changing it anyway. I was like, all right, I'm bumping something out. So I feel like I made the right choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my number 1 favorite song. Spoiler alert. And I think it's a song that introduced me to them. I think that this was the one that I heard on some show or some commercial, something 11 years ago, 10 years ago, whenever it was now, and just captured me.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. This was a no doubt home run for me.
I feel good about the last minute add-on. I feel bad that it was song 20, but like I said, I already felt bad enough. Had to make room for it. All right, Randy?
Let's go to Living Mirage. That was an album I really, really liked, I think mainly because I saw most of it live, and it was just playing all the time because it was brand new when we were listening to them, constantly. This one has a really nice, falsetto on it. And it has I don't know if it's double tracked or what, but it feels like it has 5 different people singing it at the same time. I found out.
Yeah, have to have it. Yep.
This is the first time I'm out.
Oh.
Yep. I couldn't tell you why. It just didn't make the cut. But it is a 2, so it is still alive.
It's still alive.
All right. There's actually one song that I'm skipping because I'm hoping one of you will say it. Let me go to the next one on my list.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I got no French accent.
Yep.
How about Homecoming Heroes?
That was a late cut.
Oh, was that a no from both of you?
Yeah. Nope.
All right.
That was another one that Emily had, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But that one is already on my list. That was not a late ad.
Yeah.
Great track one band.
Yes, very much so.
Very good at resetting the table. All right. Jill?
In an effort to come back and hope that we can have another one all three of us get, Shake from Let's Be Still.
Yes.
No.
Uh,
I know. There was a lot on Let's Be Still, to be fair, as I was listening to Let's Be Still. That's where I was when you guys came in, that I was like, shit, did I mess up here? So hopefully I'll find it.
As a full album, that was one that out of the 5, I probably liked the least, but some individual songs really, perked my ear.
I think
that was definitely one of them.
I think that's what happened. Like, for some reason, as I'm coming through the first time, I'm, it's in the bigger playlist, but I think I'm still thinking of it as a record. And then I went through and listened again, individually tracked. And then this last little bit, before the show, I was listening to it, like paying attention to each individual track as a track. And I think I think that is an advantage to the songs, but unfortunately, I can't make last minute cuts. I mean, I could have, but I like
you could do whatever you want, Justin.
I like to keep the integrity of the game. All right, so Shake was Jill. You are up, Randy.
Let's go track 1 off of Every Shade of Blue, which is called Every Shade of Blue.
Yes, I got it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a really good song.
It was insane live too on Sunday. It was so good.
That record is interesting because there's like some really, really great stuff. But there's also like we talked about before, where the problem is, like, I don't like a lot of contemporary music right now, and they brought in a lot of elements that I'm like, oh man, like, I get it, I get it. Like, you're trying to stay afloat, but like, this song would be so much better without that one little element. Again, I after the first pass, I had a ton from this record, but I found this one the easiest to cut from.
Yeah, I can see that. What I will say, kind of piggybacking off that point, is that, they are a live band, first and foremost. I'm kind of with you in the contemporary music way because of how some of especially the indie bands, their recording techniques, that's very echoey. It's very, like, it just has a different vibe to it than what I'm used to with, 90s bands and stuff like that are just, it's like them playing in their garage. Mm-hmm. And there was actually a band that we did, that you did, but I listened to one of their songs because of the 2021 full year in review show. And I believe the band was called Frightened Rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
And I listened to the song, I'm like, it's just way too overproduced. And what happened was, I ended up buying a Record Store Day vinyl, and it was just like all the bands that had been connected to Record Store Day, so I wanted to get it. And the last track on that record was the song that you had picked for the top one. And it was live, it was acoustic, and it sounded incredible. It sounded like an actual song that I would listen to. It didn't have, it was naked almost,
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of a disadvantage to not just contemporary bands, but to some bands in general that, get kind of the production value enhanced on their records, but you listen to it live and it soars. It just kills. A lot of Head in the Heart does that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Every Shade of Blue was you, right, Randy?
For you.
So we're back to me. So now we're getting into the middle of my list where it could be anything. It could be anything. Let me see if I can find you guys on Let's Be Still. How about Cruel?
No.
No.
Oh,
That was cruel.
I mean, it suits. Like it fits. Which, of course, comes right after Shake. So,
Yeah.
this song comes on right after it. I'm like, okay, I've got this one. But I feel like I should have picked the other one. And I guess the way the cookie crumbles, indeed I should have. All right, Jill?
I'm gonna do Tiebreaker from Every Shade of Blue.
I did cut that late.
That one was like 21.
Wow.
That one was like one of the last ones I cut. Like remember I was just saying how like the Every Shade of Blue ones, like they were some of the last ones I cut, but like I found those were the ones I did to make room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. It's easy to just say, oh, well, it's new. It doesn't have that history to it.
Yeah.
And this is like brand spanking new. This came out in what, May or June?
Right. I think
April.
Late April, yeah.
and we put this together like June or July, I think. So like
That's about right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm glad that we got to see them. This is actually the perfect time
Yeah.
to do this because they're fresh in our head right now. So, how does it feel to have your first one hit the pile?
It's all right.
yeah, we'll talk about that more on ATF because I love to know. I love to know. All right, Randy.
The track ones have been working, so I'm going to stick with it. All We Ever Knew.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And there we are at Randy's 5.
Yeah, I think we're exceeding that though.
Why is my phone going nuts?
Because it's another episode of Deprogrammed.
Like it's like I'm getting all these notifications. It's like all day I get nothing. Now I'm busy. You want to bug me? This one was up near the top of my list, for the record.
Yeah. Yeah, this was an automatic in for me.
All right. Back to me, eh? Man, there's that one sitting here that I want to say because it's actually one of my favorites. I keep hoping one of y'all's going to take
We're in the
it.
middle of this.
If you don't, I will.
All right, I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to make Jill do it. Coeur d'Alene. Darlene?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know how to spell that.
Coeur d'Alene?
C-O-E.
Darlene?
C-O what?
COEUR. Capital T.
Oh, okay. I think I know that part.
Yeah. And that's a city, right? In Idaho? Iowa?
Oh.
Idaho?
That would be
beats me.
probably.
I think it is.
It makes a lot of sense to me. If that's the case, it really makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, French territory or something like that. Could be like Louisiana.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Idaho.
Idaho.
It's a city in
Okay.
Idaho.
And for the record, we've got the 5 unanimous. We've got 5 in the convo, so we are officially out of NTP.
Yeah, this one's going to TB.
All right, Jill.
I think I'll do Rivers and Roads.
You have to get it out of the
Okay,
way.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
I don't
Ooh,
Oh.
Justin.
hate to be that guy.
We're going to have to talk about this one.
Well, I mean, I feel like anything off that first record is going to be an easy sell. I had most of it at one point, so
This is basically like the song that everybody knows, that everybody gravitated towards.
Yeah. And I think it's the one too that everybody's like, oh, I don't know any Head in the Heart songs. And then they start playing this and like, oh, I know this one.
Yeah. It's their most like theatrical.
It's their closer.
It's
their
their set closer. Yeah.
I mean, again, like I'll be easily persuaded. No one's gonna have to work too hard. All right, Randy.
Uh, something random here that I really, really liked. Winter Song.
Yes, I have that.
I don't. I don't. That one definitely was like that. That cut just before I cut all those the ones from the new record. It was definitely one of the last hangers on.
We've shared 9 so far, so that's good. That's keeping our marriage together right now.
I don't, we'll see about that. I told you.
And we
Honeybee, you really rude.
and we definitely
there's better than Honeybee.
we definitely have a conversation ahead of us too. So there's definitely some more hard cuts and plenty of gameplay. I think I still got like 10 songs left, so we'll do a couple.
Yeah, I'm around that.
Do a couple more rounds here. Let me trot out some of these later ones. How about Running Through Hell?
Oh,
Yes.
That was a really late cut.
I love that song.
That's
such a good song.
I cut that to get something from Every Shade of Blue in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Every Shade of Blue, but I can't believe you did that.
I had a lot from that record.
Every Shade of Blue?
No.
Oh, Living Mirage.
Living Mirage, yeah.
It looks like I might.
I could fight for that if that comes up.
See, we'll come back around. We'll see.
Right.
All right, Jill.
Sounds Like Hallelujah?
Yes.
Do I really not? I swear to God, I thought I did.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't. Huh.
How this is starting to really pile up here.
Yeah. All right, Randy.
All right, this is one that I basically told you that I really liked very early on, and you were like, it's okay. I know you're not going to have it. Brenda.
No, I do not have it.
I don't either.
See, I'm not gonna divorce you.
I knew you were going to.
I can't save you with that one.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just something I really like.
Oh, there it is. All right, and then this one. Oh my God, phone.
Oh, you don't have to play the ones.
Yeah, I guess not.
Play the winners.
I just like playing a little clip of what hits the floor so people can feel bad. All right. I'll stay towards the bottom. How about that? Up Against the Wall.
Oh,
No, but that was close for me, for sure.
yeah, I feel like I've listened to that. I don't know. I didn't.
You never know. Sometimes they hit the floor because they have to.
Yeah, right.
I mean, anybody who knows me hears that and knows why I picked it. I love a good premise. There we go. All right. Jill?
Here's one that I really don't know if either of you would have. Misconnection.
Yeah.
Mirage. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely have it.
I don't know. Some I thought it might have been too poppy, too like.
No, that's a key song for there.
Oh yeah, I agree. But
Justin, you say yes?
Yeah.
Awesome. That was actually going to be my next pick because I thought it would be the one that would be closest to Unanimous that I have left.
see, I thought it'd be maybe a little too poppy. But that's great.
No, it's great.
But to your point, that's what they do. Like
Yeah.
there is a level to that in what they do. So like, yeah, I feel like it had to be represented somewhere, and I feel like this is a great representation of that. So,
And I feel like Living Mirage was like is by far their like poppiest album. And when it first came out, I was like, oh no, they've like
They've
they've turned
changed,
gay.
yeah.
They're not kind of. It's like but they're still them. Like it was very clear right away that they stay true to themselves.
and for the record, this is the one that the other one I was looking at when on my last pick, Up Against the Wall, is Up Against the Wall or this. So all three of us were kind of like in lockstep there. All right, Randy.
How about Colors?
Nope.
Nope.
Not even sure I remember that one.
Oh, Colors is on the third record. I can never remember the name of it. Yeah.
This is why I play them, Randy.
Yeah, everybody feels bad.
All right. Let me stay on that record with you. How about City of Angels?
No.
Nope.
Okay, I think we're at that point. We'll do a couple more rounds here, and
yeah,
it feels like maybe the magic is gone.
Yeah, we might be running low, I guess.
Which is a bummer because we're one away from Jill's 7.
We'll see. I have 7 left.
Yeah, there's plenty of gameplay. Like it's just the steam seems to be running out. Let's find out, Jill.
Let's find out.
Here's one that maybe I think. Let's Be Still.
Yes.
No.
That was the one that I had left. I don't like if it were any.
Yeah.
It would be that.
That run of it's Shake into Cruel into Let's Be Still. I felt miserable because I had one of the 3, and I was like, oh no. And looking at it, I had the wrong one of the 3. I was like, oh no.
Bad problems to have.
Yeah. Again, before we've got 6 through, we got 10 in the convo, so it's not like we're in a bad spot.
No, right. Not at all.
Randy?
Let's give some more love to the new record. Virginia Wind Through the Night.
Yes.
No, but I did almost, because Virginia.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a silly reason. It definitely was on my first pass, but it did not make it. All right, back to me. How about Rhythm and Blues?
Yes, I do have that.
Oh.
These 2s are piling.
It's gonna get brutal. All right, Justin and Randy. All right, Jill.
I only have 2 left. So
look at you!
Shoot it.
And I don't think either of them are gonna be unanimous. But Living Mirage.
Yes.
I don't have that one.
I actually asked you about that the other night.
Yeah.
Oof. It's going to get brutal. All right, Randy?
Let's see. Cross Living Mirage off the list. I have 3 left. I can't count. How about this one? Kind of is one of the more passionate ones that doesn't have that epic moment. It stays kind of acoustic and a little bit more sorrowful. These Days Are Numbered.
I don't have it.
No, me neither. That must have been a late cut because I just looked over my list like 4 times thinking I had it.
Then your days are numbered.
Indeed. So since Jill's on her last one, we'll just do this one last round and then Randy and I can dump out.
Sure.
Let's see. How about Turn It Around?
That was a late cut. I almost put that in. I don't know why.
I don't.
Okay. All right.
It wouldn't have worked.
Your last one, Jill?
Hurts But It Goes Away.
I have that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't, but it sneaks in.
I think that's my favorite song from Every Shade of Blue.
That outside of Every Shade of Blue, I think that one was definitely the one I didn't want to cut.
There it is. All right, boom and boom.
So we finished with 6, huh?
Yep. So none of us are going to get it. That's all right.
Hey,
we just have
it happens.
Yeah, we just have to walk through the last 4 together. All right. Randy, you want to give one more and then each of us will dump out?
We don't have to.
Yeah,
I have one more.
Oh.
Gone.
Nope. Nope. Let me.
Jeez, we have so much in the conversation.
Yeah. Sort this to make it easier so I can find Gone real quick. Randy. All right. And just for S and G, even though I can say shits and giggles, Summertime, and obviously I already know I don't have to wait. Summertime. Take a walk. Just so you guys.
I almost put that. That's a great song.
I don't mind.
I think I had that going pretty far.
Like I said, Signs of Light I had a real problem with. And then last but not least was Don't Show Your Weakness.
That was, I think they played that.
They did play it Sunday, and I almost changed my list to add it.
Wow.
It was really good live.
Yeah, that's why
Really
I put it into more consideration than I probably would have.
Yep.
We covered a lot of ground with, I mean,
Tons.
I had like four ones right there at the end, but we covered a lot of ground. All right, so here's our unanimous. All We Ever Knew, Every Shade of Blue, Ghosts, Lost in My Mind, Missed Connection, See You Through My Eyes. Now, here's where it gets tough. Ooh, 14. 14 twos that need to get down to 4. Cor Daline, however you say it, Down in the Valley, Honeybee, Hurts, but it goes away. I Found Out, Let's Be Still, Living Mirage, Rhythm and Blues, Rivers and Roads, Running Through Hell, Shake, Sounds Like Hallelujah, Virginia, Wind in the Night, and Winter Song. I feel like Rivers and Roads was...
We have to, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so
Easily one that I thought was going to be an automatic, but...
All right, so that takes us up to 7. So now let's start thinking about, is there something, Jill, that got put out there that you're like, man, I can't believe that one didn't hit?
I mean, I know we have a lot of self-titled ones, but Down in the Valley, I feel like is, again, one of their like super standards. Like a lot of people know it. It's really cool.
Well, it's one that I was out on, so I would have to listen to it again to be a little convinced.
Oh, let's see.
It's a good thing I didn't say no.
Yeah.
If you're playing it, I can't hear it.
All right.
I wish I was a slave to an age-old trade, like riding around on rail cars and working long days.
Very low key.
Yeah.
They played it on Sunday.
Lord,
They did,
have
okay.
mercy on my rough and rowdy ways.
Well, here's the thing. We don't have a lot that really sounds like that just yet. So I think that would be fine to put it in to kind of fill that gap, because you do need that.
All right. So let's do that. Boom. All right, so that takes us up to 8. Now, the question becomes, do we care about album representation or not? Because if we do, then that probably leaves anything else from self-titled out.
A little bit, but like just work off the songs. Here's the thing. I don't have any of the albums next to me right now, so some of these I have no idea what record they're off of. Like, what do we have? I'm not even going to count. Like, it doesn't matter.
How do you feel about album representation, Jill? Do you think that weighs in at all, or do you think we just take best 10?
I feel like with a different band, I might say, yeah, we should have like an even spread across albums, but because they are so consistent, that I think people would get a really fair judge of who the band was, sort of regardless of what albums are shown.
Yeah.
Okay. So we managed to get something from Every Shade of Blue through unanimously.
That I think we can get rid of the 2. I think that's fair.
Okay. Ouch. So that takes Hurts, but it goes away out. So what are some things here that... All right, let me ask you a real hard question, Jill. I don't know if you've got a list in front of you or if you need me to read.
We do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see one that's sitting here still alive that you're like, you know what, very cool that it made it this far, but really does not stand among the rest of these?
Well, I'm fairly certain that the only one that's on here that I didn't have, I think, is Rhythm and Blues. So I would say that one.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like I said, I think that's the one I almost can't even say I know it because it's not.
Yeah, that's
Not on the radar.
Yeah, it's not on my radar at all.
for sure the only one that you were not in on. So, all right, same question to you, Randy. Is there something that you're looking at? You're like, probably does not make
Think
it.
about how you're gonna answer this.
Yeah, well, here I'm going to answer it like this. Two songs that I will go to bat for right now are "I Found Out" and "Sounds Like Hallelujah." How do you guys feel about that?
I support both of those.
All right.
All right.
I think,
This is working
I
out.
think those are two just like very obvious songs to me as a fan of the band. Like Sounds Like Hallelujah is like an epic like gospel song. Like
Right.
it's so good.
And it kind of reminds me a little bit of, what's the Paul McCartney song? No, it's not coming to mind. The famous one, where all different pieces kind of sound like all different songs. Shit, what the hell is the name of that song? Band on the Run. Or Band on the Run, where it's like got all these different, it's got all these different parts to it. It kind of starts off slow and then really ramps up with the horn section and everything like that.
All right. So,
Yeah.
All right. So you're looking at. So if we take both, that's it. We're done. Is there anything else alive, Jill, that you feel like is better than those two?
I mean, Shake.
Yeah.
Shake is
good too.
so good. And again, live, it's like magical.
Right.
Like the crowd loves that song. It's just really transformative. Like it gets people really hyped. So maybe that's coloring my view about it. But I think that
So you think that should be in over I Found Out?
it pains me to say that because I love I Found Out. I love that song. I love that song so much.
Let's do the thing that never works, Justin.
Well, before I even get there, I'm going to put another facet into play here because I know we said we don't care about album representation, but Let's Be Still not represented. Shake is off
At
of
all?
Let's Be Still.
Ooh,
That's fair.
that's okay. That gives it a little bit more.
And that's a great representation of it.
Yeah, right. That would be the one.
The best, I think, even over Let's.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So
Let's hear a little bit of both
All
to
right,
make
so-
this even worse.
yeah. As already mentioned, I was listening to this earlier. I was like, oh, why did I not? Let me turn that up a little.
And the pages have always been blank like the trees in the wild.
It's got a great progression to it.
Ah!
But you always say that, like, if the first 3 seconds, pulls you in right away, that's what I Found Out is.
That's true. Oh god,
Yeah.
that's actually a really good call.
That's true.
Love that you might find is gonna save our lives. I found out.
How is the song not an all-time #1 hit? Like, that should have been huge top 40 radio play, that song.
Honestly,
Like, that's what that sounds like to me.
They're not a huge fan.
No, I know, but like it shouldn't be dictated off of who's top 40. It should be dictated off of what are the best songs that people should be listening to.
fun. So is it between those two? Do we
Yeah,
pick
I
both
think
of those?
we kind of said Sounds Like Hallelujah would be in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one's definitely in. So I
Yeah.
was the odd man out there. All right, so the question becomes Shake versus I Found Out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Justin.
I mean, I was
You
just
haven't
gonna
put
say, like, really, the only argument is album representation. If we've already kind of thrown that out as far as we don't really care. So if we don't really care, I Found Out gets you immediately. I think Shake does as well, but like in a different way. Like I found out has that radio thing that you're talking about. Like immediately
All
you
right.
go like that if that came on a 90, you guys don't know 94.9, but it's a top.
Yeah, I
40
know it
station.
enough because you mentioned it every episode.
Yeah, but if it came on a top 40 station, you wouldn't go, "What the fuck is this?" You know, like it sounds like it belongs there. Whereas Shake, you could hear on your alt rock station, and it wouldn't sound out of place. And
Right.
So I don't have a horse in a race. I think both are adequate. So if somebody has an argument for one or the other, I'm open.
I mean, I think we're on split sides, but really, really close.
Mine, it feels a little like Sophie's Choice. Like,
Yeah.
they're both great. They're both great. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like looking at the top 10, like looking at what we have so far, both, I feel like both of the types of those songs are sort of represented. Like, Misconnection is very like radio friendly.
That's true.
But like Rivers and Roads and Down in the Valley are very like alty and folky. So it's it's not like we don't have something.
Right.
This, if we don't pick one of them, when we pick one of them,
I think kind of going back to the album representation thing, they have 5 albums. And it's, when we're thinking about, oh, we can leave this album out, it's usually when we've gone through 6 or 7. And that is an easy decision. But if we're fighting for something off Let's Be Still and it's not represented, I think that's like the closest tiebreaker we have out of this. I'm fine putting Shake in.
All right, let's do it. Because the Heat is
You wanted them.
I wanted,
he made the
A little
he made the
concession
hard,
from the husband.
He made the hard choice for you. All right, so I can't wait to talk about this because. All right, so here's our 10 because the Heat's only going to get hotter. Jill, All We Ever Knew, Every Shade of Blue, Ghosts, Lost in My Mind, Misconnection, See You Through My Eyes, Rivers and Roads, Down in the Valley, Sounds Like Hallelujah, and Shake. Now, based on those 10 songs, which of those is the one that you hand off to somebody?
Forgot that this was part of this whole shield.
The part.
I don't know. Like 4 answers for different reasons.
This is tough. I don't have like an absolute number one.
I feel like it's.
You can get a few options, put them into play.
I mean, they're all options to me. To me, I think it's down to 3, and they're all from the same album, so this doesn't help. But I think that Lost in My Mind, Rivers and Roads, and Down in the Valley are the head and the heart. I think that like it's off their self-titled first album. It's who they are. It's who they were, and it's who they are.
Right.
And I think that I'm Lost in My Mind or Down in the Valley, I think are the two.
Well, it's funny that you took Rivers and Roads off that. Remember how I said before that there was one that was going to make the list that I would not argue for the top 10 is actually Rivers and Roads.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just think that if you put that on somebody new, it's not exactly representative. It's like it's fully representative, but it's way too epic. It's like if you made Hey Jude the number one,
Fair enough.
Like
I understand
it's
that.
bigger than what they are almost.
I think my answer is Lost in My Mind. Again, that is my number one favorite song by this band and has been my number one favorite song for like 10 years. But I think that it has everything. It has that really cool folky, start to it. It has this like beautiful build and it's really epic, and
Piano's really nice.
yeah, like the vocals are incredible, and I think it's also very radio friendly and approachable, and people wouldn't, I think the general people wouldn't be like, what the fuck is this? They'd be like, wait, this is a cool song,
Right?
And hopefully want to listen to it. My sister, who was with us on Sunday, when I told her that was my favorite song, she was like, that's so damn good song. And she didn't know that before. So yeah, I think that's my pick, but I'm biased.
Well, it's a good thing that one of my two that I'm fighting for is Lost in My Mind. So it could be easily swayed in that direction. I think for Lost in My Mind, yeah, it has that folkier vibe that they go for, but also All We Ever Knew kind of has that like it's a big feeling song. Like when they play that live, like everybody kind of gets up on it and they kind of follow along on it. You're looking at me like,
No, I totally agree with that, but I think it's too big. It's
like Rivers
the whole thing is too big.
Okay.
Because that's like they have some of those like very, fully epic songs.
Right.
But then they also have these like incredibly soft, slow, beautiful songs that I think a song like Lost in My Mind, and there's other ones sort of capture all of that.
right.
But I do love Holidays.
The intro to All We Ever Knew, that
It's so cool.
like that hooks you right away.
Yeah.
So,
Justin, any thoughts?
yeah, my inclination is to go with Lost in My Mind because number one, Emily said it, right? So like it's a fourth person on top of the three of us who agreed on it, right?
Well, it's just John kind of getting more influence on this episode than he actually should.
I suppose
Everywhere
fair.
I go, John has to be part of the deprogrammed.
But more so the fact that I listened to it and immediately regretted it, not having it, and made it that last minute cut. And after listening to it, it probably would have been further up my list. I think that speaks to the song. I couldn't tell you why I cut it initially, but the fact that I heard it and immediately was like, no, this absolutely should be on there. So I think that does speak to something about the song. So
I kind of had that as number one, but had All We Ever Knew as kind of a conversation starter here. So you can't really argue with that. I think that wins.
Let's do it. Let's lock it in.
Put your dreams away for
All right, so let me go through this. Lost in My Mind is our number one. All We Ever Knew, Every Shade of Blue, Ghosts, Missed Connection, See You Through My Eyes, I can read, I promise. Rivers and Roads, Down in the Valley, Sounds Like Hallelujah, and Shake rounds out our 10. Let's let Lost in My Mind get its moment in the sun. Yeah, we're right. We're definitely right.
The harmonies are what they do best.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother.
We have done it. We have turned you on to the head and the heart, and you're welcome for that. I mean, you're not going to say thank you, but like, there's plenty of ways you can by going and subscribing on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. That would be cool. By leaving a comment, that would also be cool. By sharing a link, that would be great. Patreon.com/ohhijustin. That would be a really cool way to say thank you as well. Or just coming and playing in the Discord to tell us that, hey, thank you. I enjoyed that. Just saying. Plenty of ways to say I thank you. Say I thank you. And I thank you for listening. And if you would like to come play, go to legionofstupid.com, click podcasts, click deprogrammed, scroll a little bit down, and you'll see a sign-up sheet. Tell me what band you want to talk about, and it will happen. It may take a minute, but it will happen. We will talk about your band. I think we covered everything. Patreon.com, yeah, we did that. Podcast platforms, we did that. Tell somebody, we did that. There it is, all of that. The head and the heart. Learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Bye.